You might have a beard, bills on autopay, a car parked in your garage, and maybe even someone calling you dad. But deep down, you still react like a boy. Yeah, you. And the worst part? You don't even realize it. Hold on. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to poke that part of you you've been avoiding for years, the one hiding behind your fake it till you make it attitude, the sarcastic jokes in the group chat, or your classic line, "It's all good. I've got..." This spoiler, maybe you don't have it. Maybe it's not all good. And if this kind of reflection already stirred something inside you, take a second and subscribe to the channel. We don't hand out pre-packaged answers here. We hand you mirrors. And sometimes, they break. Now let's get real. Have you ever wondered why, even as a grown man, you still lose it over something stupid, feel this strange emptiness out of nowhere, or walk around like you're missing some kind of center? It's like you grew up on the outside, but something inside you stayed stuck. Part of you refuses to cross the bridge. It's still sitting at the emotional playground, waiting for a sign that's never coming. You know who talked about this in an almost uncomfortably honest way? Arthur Schopenhauer. The guy sounded like he was born 80 years old, cranky and grumpy, but razor sharp. He believed most of us live our lives driven by will, a blind, irrational craving that never stops. And that's where things get messy, because while you think you're making rational adult decisions, you're actually just reacting to childhood impulses. Sometimes it's fear of rejection. Other times, it's a desperate need for approval. And the irony? You dress it up as maturity. You've learned how to look like a man, but you still act like a needy boy. And no, this isn't some cheesy quote for Instagram. This is emotional diagnosis. Here's the twist. Schopenhauer said that the more you chase relief through desire, the more you suffer. Because desire, this endless will, never gets full. It's like giving soda to a crying baby. Feels good for a second, then wrecks everything later. And without even realizing it, you might be doing that with your entire life. Think about it. How many times have you jumped into a relationship just to escape loneliness? How many times have you chased success just to finally hear your dad, even if he's not around anymore, and say, "I'm proud of you"? How many times have you bought something you couldn't afford just to feel like you mattered? You call it goals me, and probably Schopenhauer. We call it emotional anesthesia. But here's the deeper question. Why are we still boys inside? And the answer isn't what you'd expect. It's not about age. It's not about trauma. It's not just daddy issues or mommy wounds. Sure, those things leave marks. But the hidden reason? We stay boys inside because growing up means killing the character. Yeah, the one you've spent your whole life building. The guy who always knows what to say, who never cries, who keeps it all together. That character is the most comfortable prison you've ever built, and the most dangerous because it protects you, but it also keeps you from actually living. Want a simple test? When you fall in love, who feels it? You or the character? When someone criticizes you, who reacts? You or the character? When life hits you in the gut, who shows up? The man who thinks or the boy who screams inside? Most of us spent so long just trying to survive. We forgot how to exist, and that's when the man starts to die and the boy keeps surviving. Know why? Because the boy still wants to be seen, still wants to be rescued, still wants someone to tell him what to do, still thinks life comes with a manual, but life doesn't. Schopenhauer wasn't trying to depress anyone. He was just being brutally real. He said life is suffering, that to desire is to suffer, and to get what you want is just the start of another kind of suffering. Sounds dark, right? But maybe it's just honest. Because if you're still walking around like life owes you something, you're still a boy. A bearded one maybe, but still a boy. The problem isn't feeling fear, neediness, jealousy, or insecurity. That's human. The real problem is when you don't own it and try to control everyone and everything so you never have to feel it. Want to know how that shows up? Let me paint the picture. You're constantly chasing validation, even if you call it feedback. You avoid conflict like it's a nuclear threat, then blow up over minor stuff. You can't sit in silence without reaching for your phone, because silence gets too loud inside. You fear rejection, so you never show your full self. You say yes when you want to scream no, Because disappointing others feels more painful than betraying yourself. That's your wounded inner child driving the car, and the adult sitting in the back seat, quiet. So here's the question. Why is the kid still in charge? Now, this is just my opinion, okay? Total personal take. But I believe most men were never truly initiated. We were never challenged to step out of emotional childhood. We got pushed into adulthood with no map, no compass, and zero guidance. And what does a lost boy do without a guide? He builds armor, gets cold, gets tough, becomes a performer. But inside he's still craving a hug, only life doesn't hug. Life demands emotional maturity. It demands that you look in the mirror, without the mask, without the swagger, without the excuses. And yeah, it hurts like hell, but it sets you free, because only when you finally face the boy screaming inside can the man start to be born. But listen, don't confuse this. Growing up doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means you stop running from what you feel. It means you admit you're scared and keep going anyway. It means you know it's gonna hurt her, but you step forward. It means you recognize the boy inside, but you don't let him run the show. And when you finally relate to your pain with honesty, no masks, something shifts. That pressure on your chest starts to ease. That constant need to prove yourself fades. The silence becomes a little more peaceful. And maybe, for the first time in years, you feel something real. Presence. That's where Schopenhauer hits different. Yes, life is suffering, but it's also about choice. The choice to stop being a reaction, to stop chasing fast, relief for pain that needs to be heard, to stop hiding behind the wounded boy, and finally act like the man you want to be. This isn't motivational fluff. This is the gritty, unsexy inner work, and nobody's going to do it for you. So I'll ask again, how long are you going to let your inner child make your decisions? How long will you pretend this doesn't matter? Maybe now is the time to drop the character, to sit down, look in the mirror, and ask, who are you, really, when nobody's watching? That's the question I'll leave with you. Drop a comment below, and honestly, which part of you still acts like a little boy? Let's build a space where vulnerability isn't weakness, it's the way through. And if this video hit you in some way, share it with someone who needs it, because growing up is hard, but pretending you already did, that's even harder.